So that same trick I used on the previous problem, we can actually use right away on this problem. That trick being factoring difference of perfect squares. Because these look so similar, but one's squared on top, that's why I know I can factor and it probably will work out. So this is difference of perfect squares, so we got 1 plus cosine of theta and then 1 minus cosine of theta. All of that over 1 plus cosine of theta. And then we've still got the plus cosine of theta. So I just factored that down. And then this is such an easy problem after that. If you recognize that you can factor, those cancel. And you got 1 minus cosine of theta plus cosine of theta. And the cosines cancel, and you get that's equal to 1. So sometimes the most complicated ones can actually be the easiest ones. So, and I don't know if you noticed, I didn't use any of the identities on the side. Crazy, I know. Just full of crazy surprises. Oh, this one's such a nasty one. I love it. So many things we can do. There's nothing squared on this one right now, so I'm probably not going to be using these identities right away. So let's just try some things. Like I said, there's a lot of ways you can do this. I mean, I'm just making it up as I go. It's pretty fun. So one thing I often do is if I see a tangent anywhere and it's not squared, I'll often switch it to sine over cosine. This is going to be like a fraction and a fraction. It'll look nasty, but it's going to be fine. So we got sine of theta plus sine of theta over cosine of theta. So that was this one right here. And then I'm going to go ahead and do the secant and convert that one too. So that's going to be the same thing as 1 over cosine of theta. Ooh, yeah, this is gross. There's probably an easier way, I don't know. I actually don't know if that's true, but I mean, this way is going to be great. So from here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get everything to be over cosine. So I'm going to multiply this one by cosine over cosine, and the one by cosine over cosine. Okay, everything. We just really like everything to be over cosine. It's going to be so fun. So we got sine theta cosine of theta over cosine of theta plus sine of theta over cosine of theta. Wow, this is so cool. All of that over cosine of theta over cosine of theta plus 1 over cosine of theta. I know you love it. I love it too. Okay, now everything's over cosine, so I'm going to go ahead and say, well, this is sine of theta cosine of theta plus sine of theta over cosine of theta. So I just added, I've just added all of this together, right? And now we're dividing that, which, you know, let's clean it up. Dividing is the same thing as multiplying by the reciprocal. So that means cosine of theta is going to be on top, and then we've got cosine of theta plus 1 on bottom. Because why add an extra step when we can do it all in one step? Fantastic. So what that does for us is actually a lot, because the cosines now are gone. And we've got sine of theta, cosine of theta, plus sine of theta, all of that over cosine of theta plus 1. Last but not least, there is a common factor of sine here, so I'm going to factor out my sine. Isn't this just like such a fun little puzzle? I love it. And those cancel out because they are common factors, and you've got sine of theta. We had just enough room to finish that problem because we are so talented.